Hi there everybody, Dan McCready here, and thank you for watching this channel. It is much appreciated, and I'd also like to say thank you to my new subscribers. That is very much appreciated. Thank you for signing up and agreeing to be a part of this journey here with me. Now normally most of the videos you've seen me post on the channel so far have been comedic in nature, and I will keep making some videos that hopefully you find amusing and funny. But for this offering, I'm doing something a little bit different. This video is going to be a little more, I guess you could say, educational. What I did was I took my camera here and I went to some interesting sites around Milton and talked a little bit about them and how they relate to the history of the town and the history of actually our country as a whole. And I think you'll find it very surprising and interesting. At least I certainly hope you do. So here's my latest offering. I hope you enjoy. Now directly across from Town Hall, this right here is the Milton Powder House. Now this was constructed shortly before the War of 1812. Now many New England communities, and Milton being no different, were not exactly all, well, for lack of a better term, gun-ho about the War of 1812. The embargoes and whatnot really ruined New England shipping, but nonetheless, it was decided by town leaders at the time that if a war was going to happen, they better be prepared for it. So they built this powder house here and met every year to make sure that munitions and rifles and ammo was well stocked should a war arise and should arms need to be taken up. And the arms can still be found in there. The building is moved from its original location, but here it is, a relic from a very famous war that, well, let's just say New England was towards. I'm standing out here right now in front of 173 Adams Street in Milton. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, why is that significant? What's the importance of this house, this building? Why does this matter? I'm going to tell you why. Massachusetts had many presidents born here, such as John F. Kennedy, John Adams, John Quincy Adams, but what a lot of people don't know is that George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st president of the United States, was in fact born in Milton, right in that house over there. Okay, so I'm standing here in a field, and you're probably saying, well, now why is that important? Lots of places have fields. That's not unique, and that's true. However, there used to be something very significant on this field, and that was the home of the last civilian colonial governor of Massachusetts, Thomas Hutchinson. What happened was, things started getting pretty tense in Boston, and Hutchinson decided, maybe I better get out of town for a while, so he came here to Milton. Unfortunately, the problems didn't go away, and Hutchinson had to leave this home as well. So I'm standing here in another spot that is very significant in the life of Thomas Hutchinson, and this right here is Milton Landing, is right here on the Neponset River. Now this is very important because when Thomas Hutchinson got summoned back to England, he left here. You see, shortly after the Boston Tea Party, King George III wanted a report on what was happening in the colonies. So Hutchinson got on a boat and set sail from right here to England. Now, the thing is, Hutchinson believed he'd be coming back. I mean, this was his home. He'd lived here. He was a loyal British subject. But nonetheless, this was his home. Well, so he set sail, saw Milton, for what would turn out to be the last time. As we all know, the war dragged on, the Patriots got an unexpected victory, and a new nation was born, one that was no longer home to Thomas Hutchinson. Now I'm standing right here at the Milton stop, which is on the MBTA's Mattapan-Ashmont line. Now the Mattapan-Ashmont line is a very interesting transit line on the MBTA, which is the transit system, of course, for the greater Boston area. It's significant for two reasons. One, as you can see, the trolleys are very old. They're different from the rest of the line. But the Mattapan-Ashmont line is significant for another reason. You see, the Mattapan-Ashmont line was actually written up in Ripley's Believe It or Not as being the only transit line in the world that runs directly through a cemetery. Well, thank you for watching. I certainly hope you enjoyed that and found it both informative and entertaining. This may be something that I'll do again in the future, so if you liked it, I will try to do that again, perhaps focusing on some other places in the greater Boston area and perhaps beyond. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you liked and you haven't, please subscribe. Thanks.